Hello and welcome to the What the Fork Monarchs Friday Focus Show. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harley, as we look back on a tense affair, Dave. A 47-42 victory for the What the Fork Monarchs over the Plymouth Gladiators. We hear from Heat 15, last heat decider, hero Josh Pickering. We hear from Plymouth boss Gary May, and as always, Heat of the Week, which this week, another Josh Pickering special on Heat 14. Dave, in the build up to it, another one of those ones where people were saying, oh, the Monarchs should score that, the Monarchs should score this. Nothing happens like that, and on track it was a tough one, and the Monarchs didn't have their first lead until after Heat 14, but finished the job in Heat 15, but that was maybe just a little bit too close for comfort from a Monarchs point of view.
100%, Graham. As you say, Speedway's done on the track, not on paper, and everybody's a wee bit too keen to turn to
write people off.
To write off this Plymouth team. Sorry, that's the expression. Get there eventually. Yeah, write off this Plymouth team, and they were good for it tonight. Boosted with having Leon Flint in the team, obviously, but they were out. They were right at it from the start, from the gates. One or two of us a wee bit off colour, and made for a fantastic night's entertainment. How close the score was and how nervous it was, but as you say, we got there in the end. Hopefully Bjarne Pedersen's okay after his spill, and that's kind of the main thing. And they pull run out of riders a bit in the end.
I think so.
It's a shame.
It kind of killed their top end strength, didn't it? They're set round a big two with Crump and Pedersen. You always one of them in Heats 13 and 15, and you're going to struggle a little bit, and that's maybe what happened. But across the board, it was Gladiators' first point of the season, so they can be happy with that. From a Monarchs point of view, a very slow start, uncharacteristic. Sam, with those bike problems early doors, couldn't get a bike to get him off the start properly. 5-1, 4-2, the Gladiator start, you're 6 down after 2, and you're thinking, wait a minute, we're in a match here. And Plymouth didn't let up. They tucked in well, they picked up most of the points they wanted. An inspired choice of guests. Leon Flint paid 14 points. Mike Hunter on the stream said before that he knew Leon was due a good match here. It came tonight, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that. But yeah, so, it's a case of job done. Plymouth go away with a point, Edinburgh still get the 3 points, and I guess the headline, we're joint top of the league. Yeah,
3 points, top of the league. Looking forward to the playoffs still. We've got to make sure we win these home meetings. That's where it counts. And we're talking about off colour, but the middle order of our team, Josh and Kai, absolutely brilliant again. Heat advantages in all races, and winning the Heats 12 and Heat 14, and as you say, Josh, sensational in 14 and in 15. It's those two have really stood up and been counted tonight. When as you say, Sam a little bit off colour, and then Leon Flint will be ecstatic going away from here, having beaten Sam Masters. And Richie, I don't know if maybe the conditions early on after that big rain shower we had early, maybe not quite to his liking, and he was coming good before his off, and obviously I don't know about him. I hope he's okay and fighting fit for next week. Yeah,
as you mentioned there, a big crash in Heat 13 that they kind of put a bit of a mar on at the end of the meeting. It was just one of those racing incidents, wasn't it? Sam was in front, he'd kind of cut down to block Bjarne's move, caused Bjarne to lock up a little bit, and Richie's caught his back wheel going into the third bend. That was how I seen it anyway. I don't know if you thought any different from your vantage point.
Yeah, Bjarne, I think Bjarne tried to adjust a wee bit to maybe go round Sam, and ended up the two riders going in. It's one of these ones where you could make an argument for either rider to be excluded. Unfortunately, in our case, it was Richie, which meant that 3-2 in Heat 13, which has got us within a point, but enough for us to get over the line with a sensational Heat 14, as you said earlier. So,
sorry, I'm laughing here, Dave. I don't know if you can see, we've got another race going on as Richie's dog spied a rabbit. So this is a bonus race. I don't know if it'll be race of the night or not. There's a bonus race going on about a feet. But yeah, you mentioned there, the Monarchs got the job done in the end. Big part of that was down to Kai Thompson, fantastic with 10 points, and Josh Pickering in the engine room. Josh winning Heats 14 and 15, and I caught up with Josh after, and he was delighted with his night's work and the team being top of the league. So Josh, Monarchs took their time, but they got there in the end, and that's all that matters. 3 points on the board, and from memory I think that's joint top of the league now.
Oh, perfect, that's what we wanted, mate. Went into this knowing that we needed to win, and we can't afford to lose any matches at home, and starting off with them getting a 5-1 and Heat 1, I think that's probably the first one Sam's dropped all year, mate. He's been unbelievable, so he had a couple of issues tonight and had to jump off different bikes, and we need Sam on his game always, as well as Richie and myself, and Kai tonight. I think he had 3 wins as well. He was awesome, and the other boys just pitched in what they had to do, and we got the job done.
Yep, and of course came down to a Heat 15 decider, and the Josh Pickering wouldn't have made that gate now. He had the best gate, probably gate 4, no mistake, right round the field, and that was it, job done.
Yeah, well, when I come in knowing that I was going to go in heat 15, we're just worried about getting the bike sorted. You know, Ryan's been, can't fault him, he's unreal all year, you know, and it's just good to have as much trust in my mechanic as I do my own bike, you know, so that makes things a lot easier. And with Sam, he comes over and he goes, oh, what gates you want? We've got 1 and 3, and I went, I want 4, you know, and he's like, oh, but 3, he goes, 1's the best. I'm like, 3 shit though, you know, like, I didn't want that, and he goes, you going to win it off 4? And I said, yeah, I'll win it. And he's like, righto, well, I'll just do what I can then, and yeah, we got the job done, and we got a 5-1, and you know, that's what we needed.
You mentioned obviously a few issues with bikes for Sam. Did the conditions catch the boys out a wee bit at the start? And obviously we've had rain during the day, threatening rain right up to the start. Was it maybe just that catch the boys out a little bit at the start of the meeting?
Track was prepared beautifully. Probably best just to look at and walk around. Best has been all year, you know. I think that bit of rain helped it, but with how it all sort of worked out in the end, they got a team full of gators, which was making it hard for us because they probably weren't as quick on track, and the way our bikes were set up to go around the track, we need to be coming in hard, you know, so that's why I just couldn't get past crumping. My bike was too flat, so when we come in after that one, I made a change just to get it off the start. It's going to be slower on track, but I just need to be there in the first corner, and that's what we done, and it seemed to work, you know. And then for that last one, I ended up doing something I've never even done before around here, and that worked, so we just need to note that down as well.
And it's been a busy spell for the Monarchs. Obviously a few matches called off, but 3-4 matches on the road in the last couple of weeks, so we finished it strongly. So I think that's our joint top of the league, and the boys can take a few days now, sort of regroup, and then we go again next Friday with Kent.
Yeah, well, I've done 2,500 miles since last Sunday. I've had 10 matches in 12 days. This is the last one for tonight, and then I don't race again until next Thursday, so I'm going to enjoy just getting up tomorrow, washing the bike, going over everything, getting it prepared for Kings Lynn on Thursday, and just parking it to the side for a couple of days and, you know, unwind, give the mind a bit of a rest. You know, it's more mentally draining than physically. Like, I'm in good shape, we all are. That's what we've got to do. But when you're racing, you're spending 5 hours in the workshop after meetings, just going over everything, make sure everything's perfect, and you've got 5 hours between every match to get to. You know, you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, getting home, and then you're up again at 9 o'clock to get your bike sorted by midday, and you know, have a bit of a kip, and then get back into it again. So it's been good. I've always been here, and I've said that I need to be riding more to continue to progress my career, and now with that top flight club and just for how all the meetings, you know, teamed out, it's benefited me, and we've got a couple of rainouts, as you said, to catch up, but to be, you know, at the top of the league we'll join the top in August, it's unreal. It's a lot better than being there in May, you know, so it just goes to show you the calibre of riders we have here, and I feel that home and away, if we're all firing how we should win the league.
Josh there, a little bit of work for Edit and Sweet, you know, a little bit of boy language as they call it back in the day, but I'm sure that'll have been beeped out before this goes out. But just delighted, you know, Josh came at the end there, when it mattered, the chips were down, and he got the job done, and the Monarchs got the 3 points. You know, from the Plymouth side of you know, obviously delighted with Leon Funt as a guest. Crumpy showed his class in a few races, Bjarne Pedersen as good as ever, but I guess the big plus for them was probably the improvement of the youngsters. You know, Dylan Rummel, that's his best match of the season away from home, and Zane Kelleher and Zach Cook looked better with every race they had.
Definitely, I mean, especially with Dylan in Heat 1, you know,
Yep.
like really, I know Sam was under power, but he still had to get back past him, and it was a brilliant race from Rummel. Kelleher doing well, and really had to get the best out of Josh in
Yep.
Heat 14 to beat him. And you're also got Zach Cook's picked up a couple of points, and as we said, they run out of riders a little bit, and Jason Edwards will be happy with his point there from the earlier race. But I think one thing we missed from Monarchs is Nathan Greaves passing E14 as well. Yeah,
that's right. We'll see that in a little bit. That was a key and crucial point at that stage. I caught up with Gary May, the Plymouth team boss, after, and he was, you know, I think satisfied with his team's work ahead of a big weekend with 2 more matches to come. So Gary, a point for your efforts, but the feeling will probably it could have been more.
Yeah, I felt like, you know, with Heat 12, I think it was something like that, you know, I thought we could maybe just sort of nick it a bit here, but, you know, it didn't work out that way, and that was it, you know. Bjarne crashed with Richie Worrell, you know, and it didn't feel like carrying on with the bent bike and that, and these things happen, you know what I mean? So put Leon in, and then, you know, that's just how it works out. and Edinburgh choice of gates is 15, so that's the way it goes.
And you mentioned Leon there, an inspired choice of gates, paid 14 from reserve, a fantastic haul.
Oh yeah, Liam, we've used him before and he's done a great job for us before, so why not use him again? And obviously I can't use him tomorrow night because he rides for Berwick, but I've got Daniel Hume tomorrow night, so hopefully he'll do the job there. But no, it was a no-brainer when when you run this far, just get Liam, no-brainer.
Bjarne, going to be okay for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We'll see in the morning how he feels. If not, we'll get a good guess because he's got a good average, so it'll be a good one tomorrow night. So
it sets you up for the weekend, doesn't it? Yeah, it'll be a disappointment, but when the dust settled, is it the first away point of the season? And it sets you up for 2 big matches to come the rest of the way.
Yeah, it just shows that Plymouth are just short of a 7-8 point man, and we can give everyone a run for their money, but we haven't got that rider. That's the way the team was built at the beginning of the season because there's nothing else left, but we're getting there slowly, and we're starting to win the home meetings now, by 2 or 3 points, and now we're giving them something away, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm glad with that, because we took a 50-40, we beat Edinburgh 3 points, and we took 1 tonight, so they only got 3, we got 4, so it's good.
And I guess the big plus, as you mentioned, the improvement of the young guys. Zane gets better as the night goes on.
Yeah.
Cook gets better as the night goes on. Dylan, again, maybe is probably his best away meeting of the season so far, or thereabouts. And that's what you want for these guys as the season goes on, is seeing them progress. Yeah,
because they come in, there was all 3, they didn't know these tracks, they'd never seen this place before in their life. Takes 1 or 2 races to get sorted out. Zane come good, like you said, so did Zach. And Dylan, he rode, that's his best meeting all season, away from home all season. So yeah, it was good.
Well, thanks very much for Gary, and all the best for the rest of the weekend.
No problem.
Gary there, I don't know if he enjoys the camera. Every time I tried to put a little bit of distance in for the zoom, Gary took another step towards me. So close up and personal with Gary May there, but thanks very much for Gary for the time. And I guess it's your Plymouth first. He mentioned in the interview, they've won, I think the last 2, maybe 3 home matches. Certainly the last 2, they beat Edinburgh and they beat Redcar during the week. So they're starting to pick up the home points. First away point night, so they'll be happy with that. Big weekend to come for Plymouth, and we thank them for their efforts tonight. Dave?
Yeah, they're getting that momentum. I mean, they've been unfortunate with Crump's injury. They probably would have been able to rejig their team a little bit differently if both of them had got an average earlier on, and as we say, for their weekend, I hope Bjarne is fit enough, because they will need him, because they do need that top end power.
Yep, and of course that only leaves what we always like to finish on, our heat of the night. There was a few contenders. I'd originally penciled heat 5 before Dave reminded me, a heat 14, and as we like to say up in this neck of the woods, a Josh Pickering special.
Keller away well from the inside. Pickering flying round the outside. Is he going to get round Keller here? Not so far. Big blast by Pickering. Keller still leads. Terrific stuff from Keller. Pickering's on his tail. Pushing and pushing. How did Poole give this guy away? Greaves is closing in on Flint at the back. Pickering a fantastic burst round the outside, and he's gone to the front. Brilliant. Keller's in trouble. Flint's fallen off. Monarchs now on a 4-2. They might have to stop this. What a ride that was by Josh Pickering. Leon Flint's up, so I think he's okay.
As Josh Pickering, what a move from him to get ahead.
Yeah, but I would suspect the referee let that go to the end and then put the red lights on just to warn everyone that Flint was on the deck, but we'll wait for the official adjudication.
I don't think there was any need to let it go to the finish, was there really?
Certainly looked that way. We're waiting for confirmation from the referee's box.
So there you have it. 4-2 to the Monarchs. First in red, Josh Pickering. Second in white, Zane Kelleher. And third in blue, Nathan Greaves. Fantastic race there, and that 4-2 put the Monarchs ahead, believe it or not, for the first time in the night after heat 14. Job was finished in heat 15. 3 points to the Monarchs, 1 point to the Gladiators on the night, and we'll head home from there. Dave, it's not long until I'm back here. You're not here tomorrow. You're heading Over the Sea to Sky as the song goes. I won't sing it for you, we'll get put off there. But we're back tomorrow at 2:30 with the British Youth Championships, or I guess today. This will go out on Saturday morning, so it'll be today. So if you watch this in time and you can come along, I think it's only £5 on the door. There's 20 plus heats action. We had it last year, it was a great meeting. Dan Thompson won it, I think, last year. Joe Thompson was in. That's the calibre of riders you're going to see.
Yeah,
Get along.
It's excellent value. You know what the kids are like. 100% effort every time. There's no mucking about at the start. The races will be quick fire, lots of enjoyment, and as we're seeing, there's lots of the riders from last year that are in this league this year. With
Definitely.
As you say, with the Thompson guys. So you never know. You might see a future end with a number 7 or a future star. But I hope it's a cracking day for them tomorrow. And
so if you can, get yourself along. If not, the stream is available, so pick up your stream there. Until next week when the Kent Kings come a-calling. I'm not going to say that 10 times fast. Thank you very much for watching.